Okay, okay.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening, people? How we doing? How we doing? Say what's up if you're here. Say hello so we can know who's watching. What's up, Wesley? He says first. First, what is it? Early bird gets the worm. I don't know what I'm trying to say at this point. The combine starts tomorrow. Pretty excited for that, Badaki. We're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be live
pumped. I'm
streaming and just
excited.
watching it, and who knows if the stream gets taken down. It's
Yeah, I
really
know.
hard to
It should
say.
be okay. It should be all right.
If you guys want to join us, when is the actual combine starting though? Because we need to double check on times. It might be an hour earlier than this stream,
Yeah, I think it's at 11 our time,
which would
which would
be, is it
be
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Can anyone confirm that?
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or something like that. We have to double check, but
It looks like it is. Yeah. Okay. So Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're gonna be live for it. Is it gonna be worth it? Who knows? We have no idea. We have no idea if it's going to be worth it, but we're going to be there. We're going to be watching all the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, the tight ends. So join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see. We will see if it's worth it or not. I just realized I haven't even created a mock yet, but
I was like, I was about to say, I don't think I got it. I
shout
don't
out to
think you sent
everybody
me
in the
that.
chat. Who's here, Badaki?
Yeah, you got Wesley, Sean, Jeff, Spencer, and then Jeff again. Jeff, and then Jeff S, and then Jeff L.
We
Jeff
got two
Stan,
Jeffs.
two Jeffs.
My name's Jeff.
Jeff, and
They've
then
probably
Jeff.
never heard that before.
Yeah, honestly. Adrian as well up there. What's happening, everyone? All love. Quick plug, patreon.com/fantasyland fam. If you want to support the show or be part of Dynasty, redraft, or any leagues, unlock exclusive content. Excuse me, exclusive content, our rankings, everything in between and more. Put it through, come through patreon.com/fantasyland fam. It's all love. If you want to support, if not, it's still all love. Was good, Garrett. Was good, Zach.
Yeah.
Dylan. What's happening?
So I sent you a link to the
Oh,
draft,
okay,
Badaki.
awesome.
There's a link to Patreon in case anyone is interested in joining. Who joined recently? Shout out to, let me just get the list up. Shout out to Derek, who signed up to Close Friends Plus. Shout out to Otter, who signed up to play in our leagues. Shout out to Josh Silva, Kyle, back in A2, Tyson, all these guys who have recently joined. Means a lot that you guys would believe in the channel, so much that you would decide to be a part of the community in that way. That means a lot. If you guys are watching, no pressure to be a part of it. The link's there. What's up, Spencer? What's up? My name's Jeff. Zaquandre to the moon. I love it, bro. I'm so excited that he's going to be at the combine. Are you guys big into sports betting, Garrett? We try to be as conservative as possible because you can lose a lot of money in it, but we will be covering DFS and FanDuel, DFS, that kind of thing over on our main channel when the year begins. So if you are interested in that, then I will paste our main channel link here in the chat as well, because we will be covering DFS over there, and maybe some prop bets and things like that. Dylan says, any chance there is a one quarterback rookie draft in the future? Maybe. I guess the reason we do SuperFlex is because most people that we know do play in a SuperFlex league. I think the numbers are somewhere around 80% plus play SuperFlex, and I guess we just want to do what is the most relevant for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we might be able to do that. And Casey says, is there a difference between one quarterback and Superflex rookie draft? Can you just look at the board and move positions down, players down? The quarterbacks would be the biggest difference as far as where they go, and you can say the same if there's tight end premium draft. So if you're watching this and you're in tight end premium or you're in a one quarterback league, the quarterbacks will go later. The tight ends, will go earlier if it's tight end premium. Steven says, the more I think about it, the more I back on getting Mechie in the middle of the second round of my Dynasty League. What's up, Trippy? Quote Nation says, I kind of want to get DJ Moore, Elijah Moore, and Sky Moore on the same fantasy team and call it more. That's actually amazing. That is a highly underrated team name.
You can get Rondell Moore too. More,
Yeah, you
more,
can
more, more.
more. I have Rondell. I had Elijah. I sold him to you.
Hmm.
I had who else? Yeah, I don't have DJ in many leagues, unfortunately. Um, all right, so we are doing a rookie only draft today. You can see the board here. It will be 4 rounds. I'll move our faces down because this was kind of set up for the Dynasty startup draft that we did yesterday. Okay. So you can see the board here. Everyone's going to get a chance to be a part of this draft, Badaki. How do they do that? How can they be a part of this draft if they want
Yeah,
to?
it's really easy. Go to our Discord, which will be pinned in the link in the chat or in the description below. Join the Discord, Dynasty Damn It, and then go to Dynasty Mock Draft. That's where we'll be posting the link every single time. If you're new here right now, if you're watching later, whatever the case may be, send us a message if you want to join one of these guys for the first time. I know it's a little bit hard to get into a mock draft, whether it's rookie or dynasty startup. So yeah, come through. Let us know if you have any questions. It's all love.
I love the comment from Bo. He's on the same wavelength as us. All right, guys, we do have a like goal on this video. We already have 25 likes. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the love. If you haven't dropped a like, please consider in doing so. If you like the content, to show us some love. If we hit 75 likes, I know it's audacious, it's big, but in order for that to happen, I mean, if that does happen, Badaki has to do something that's pretty big, which right now it looks like let his wife draft his real league. So if we hit 75 likes, you'll be able to see that because we will be live streaming our follower leagues over on Patreon here. You'll be able to see those live streams and watch those real drafts with us. But I think we should do what we're here to do.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get in straight into it, baby.
Again, one last time, if you want to join us tonight, I have pasted the link and it is pinned in the chat box to join our Discord. And Badaki is about to send out that link right now. So everyone has a chance to join.
Here we go. 3, 2, and it's out.
And the link has been sent. This is going to fill pretty quickly, I imagine. Let's have a little gaze, shall we? I mean, no one's here yet. No one. Not a single soul. This is surprising. Normally it's like 10 seconds in.
They're playing with us now.
You sent them the YouTube link.
That's why
you sent everyone the link to the YouTube.
Hey man,
live stream.
Everyone come to the live stream. I think it's just as important. It's just actually just mental.
That is actually hilarious.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
The next link's going to be to our Patreon or something.
That's funny, bro. That's my fault to all the people I gave y'all false hope. Y'all was probably on your phone or something now. Probably missing out. That's my bad.
Badaki, you could be the reason that someone misses out tonight.
I'm sorry. If I am the reason you missed out, please let me know, and I'm so sorry. Someone just got kicked out. Oh no, they didn't.
Okay. Hey, I just want to say as well, if you're watching this and you weren't able to get into tonight's mock, let's say you keep watching, you keep trying to get in, and you haven't been able to. We always want to make sure everyone gets a fair chance to be a part of these. So before the next one, if you haven't been able to get in and you want to, just message us over on Discord, the Fantasyland Football account, DM us there, and we will make sure to hook you up and get you in. We want to make sure everyone has a chance, right? So this is going to be a fun time. 32 likes already. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the love. So we have Back in 82, Trippy Trout. Both of these guys are in our first openings of our Dynasty League this offseason. Then we have Runner Meep, KCB. I don't know if we've drafted with KCB before. Tommy, what's up? You're back. Legonted. That's a badass logo. I don't know who that is. So welcome in. Might be your first time.
The way you try to pronounce Legonte.
It's definitely not French. Anyway, Tebow's back. D. Lawrence is back. Cousin David, I think it's our first time with you in Fantasy Dominators here. So this is going to be an exciting one. And let me just say this before we start, because I always want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. Number one, we're all on the same team. Okay. If you have a different opinion to what Badaki and I, well, I'll say this. You will have a different opinion to the things that Badaki and I will say. We're not going to agree on every single player. I think more than ever in this year's rookie drafts, you can justify players going wherever you think they should go. So if I make a decision to draft someone you don't agree with it, that's okay. You can let us know.
It's okay. Yeah.
We welcome difference of opinions, and there'll be things that you guys do that we don't agree with. I will say we will always add our commentary. Okay, so whether it's something you don't agree with or you do, just expect us to at least comment on the picks. And it's actually okay for everyone to see things a little bit differently. I will say, because people are always curious, how do you go about drafting in these rookie drafts? I always go 90% base talent, right? Okay. The 10% for me is team fit. So my team fit, right? Like, so if I have two players who are on the same tier for me, then maybe I look at team fit. Otherwise, I really, really want to just get the best talent available. And of course, this is going to change after the real NFL draft, after the combine. Like, things are going to change. So
yeah, everything's going to change here. So let's just take it with a grain of salt. This is all for fun right now. We're going based off their talent right now. And then once their landing spot comes, there's going to be talent, situation, and everything and above. So it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to change it dramatically.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to start this. There will be 2 minutes on the clock, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. 2 minutes on the clock. I will pause the draft at certain points to discuss picks. Okay. So just so everyone's aware of what's happening. Just before we get in, let's quickly look at some of these questions. Sean says, I have the 23, 29, 30 overall third rounders. Would you spray and pray running backs with these picks? I have the 1, 6, and 8 in the first rounds. I guess, Sean, it always depends on who's on the board, to be honest.
Yeah,
in the third round, I'm just always going highest upside. Garrett says, damn, got my new PC and wasn't logged into Sleeper. Oh, I got to turn your hacks on, Garrett. Come on. Scott says, do you guys lean into more film or analytics when evaluating rookie prospects? I think we do both, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's a good balance of both.
We kind of have our own system and things that where we try to bring both perspectives, where we try to look into the analytics and we don't just watch their highlights, we watch like games that they've played,
full games,
and kind of just bring our own perspective.
We want to see the good and the bad for sure. And the last thing I'll say is, someone asked us this question: do you guys go to anyone else when you look at scouting players? We don't in the initial process. So for the first 2 months when we're getting to know players, we don't look at anyone else's opinions because we want to form our own opinions. But then after we know who these players are, we will listen and be receptive to people's opinions on players. So let's go ahead and start this again. It's a SuperFlex league, not tied in premium. It is PPR if that matters to you. Rookies only. Let's go ahead and start this bad boy.
Back in 82.
Paul says, how many years have you guys been playing Dynasty? We haven't been in longer than, some other people. We've been playing about 3 years. About 3 years now. Expect. So we've had a couple years with the rookie picks. But I can't say that we were one of those people back in 2010 who were already on the Dynasty train, unfortunately. It took us a while to figure out how fun it is to play Dynasty.
Yeah.
At the 101, back in 82 is asking if he should go Hall or Burks. We'll see what's going to happen. Okay, so Treylon Burks is off the board.
I was going to say go with Sky Moore there. But
okay, and then Breece Hall goes off the board. And this is honestly like my worst case scenario. This is what I did not want to happen. So now I need to make a decision. Man, I hate this position. I genuinely do not like being here. Because all the players that are available, I know that I want here, I know I could get at the 106. Does anybody want to trade back with me? Let me ask this. I'm going to do this live right now. Does anyone from the 1-4 to the 112 want to trade back with me? What can you offer? Put it in the chat. This is probably unrealistic for me to do, but can anyone trade back? By the way, let me just say this as well. If I'm at the 1-3 here and these are my options, I would definitely trade back. Hopefully your rookie drafts, you have like a 5 to 10 minute timer where you can do these sort of deals. Anyway, that being said, I am going to have to make a decision here. The thing is, Garrett Wilson isn't my next ranked wide receiver. Neither is Drake London, but I think that's where these guys should go. So I'm going to have to take the first quarterback off the board here, to be honest. Malik Willis, I think he's probably the only quarterback that I really love taking in the first round just because of the upside. I don't even love it. But based off of the upside, I'll take him here at the 1-3. I genuinely hate. Trippy says, I'll trade back. You get Hall. I get your first and third. First and third. I would do that if it was real, but let's just to make things not confusing.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you do it then? That's funny.
No, like I just realized that it could be really confusing. But anyway, I took Malik here at the 1-3.
I think it's going to be very interesting. Like I would love to do a rookie mock draft with people where we can just trade back and forth.
Well, we're gonna do that with our follower leagues. We're gonna live stream those.
I know that. I think like it'll be cool just to
I know
do
that
it with like with these rookies only.
Yeah.
Like in a mock draft because it's kind of like it's weird because it's unrealistic, you know.
Yeah.
But still.
Kenny says, "Hey guys, is Lance worth the 101? I would sell the 101 for Lance in a heartbeat. To be honest." Some people might disagree, but I would.
Yeah.
Christopher Simmons says, "Love the show, guys. Keep it coming. Hate I got on my computer late, but definitely ready to watch the draft after combine. Same. I would take Lance over the 101 easily.
I wouldn't do that. That's something that I look.
There's not a quarterback that you want over Trey Lance in this draft, and there's no way that we can guarantee that any of them land in a better situation than Trey Lance.
I think there's no way we can guarantee that Trey Lance could be a top quarterback either.
No, but he's in an amazing offense. He's in a very good situation.
Yeah, and I think it'll be based on where all these people land. But you know, like for me, it's not that I don't believe in Trey Lance. It's just like the praise and thought process of where he can go is like. We haven't seen anything at the moment, and I'm a little bit. I don't want to jump the gun too early.
Even if so, hold on. Here's the deal, though. Even if you disagree with Trey Lance and where you think he can go, Trey Lance is a first-round pick in startups. So you're telling me that you wouldn't trade a first-round pick in a startup for the 101 this year? I would do that in a heartbeat. You have to think about it from that perspective, in my opinion. What's up, Shane?
Yeah, it's a lot of factors that go into it, but.
Even if you don't like Lance, you could trade him for way more than just the 101, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson at the 1-4 makes sense. That's your wide receiver 2, Badaki. My wide receiver 4, if I'm not mistaken. Kenneth Walker at the 1-5. I like Kenneth Walker's game. Reminds me a little bit of Chubb. I know he's not Chubb, but as a pure runner. Then London at the 1-6, Williams at the 1-7, and Olave at the 1-8. I like that we see Jameson Williams going a little bit higher because I would be comfortable taking him from the 1-5 onwards, and a lot of people weren't with me. So, Trippy says Trey Lance over the 101 easily. Nobody's drafting Treylon Burks in the second or first. Totally, I 100% agree. Trey Lance probably worth the 101 and the 102. Shane says. Even if you don't agree on him, I think we can agree, Badaki. Purely from a pick consideration, he would be worth more.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, look, it's not that I don't disagree that like he can be worth that much. I agree he can be worth that much. I think like I don't know if I want to take the chance on that where like maybe Treylon Burks, not Treylon Burks specifically, but it's kind of hard because the talent here, it's so like it's nothing compared to the talent in the 2021. Sorry, I'm trying to explain and then also think. Let me just make my pick really fast. I'm gonna do George Pickens here. Okay. I think it's really easy. He's my 5th wide receiver on the board. He should be going, I think, a lot earlier once we get all his draft numbers.
Yeah.
Or combine numbers and everything. But look, I think there's so many things that go into consideration for me for Trey Lance specifically. Like he probably is the most talented and more talented than every single person in this draft. So yeah, maybe I would do the 101. But yeah. Do I believe in Trey Lance in itself? Maybe I'll take the chance by doing that, but I don't know if I want to take the chance.
Purely
right now.
Based off of what you could get for Trey Lance, he's worth well more than the 101 in my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think I'm coming more on the fact that like I don't know if I believe in Trey Lance as much as the community does. I think he's talented.
Well, yeah, we can say that, but still agree that he's worth more than the 101. All right, so Isaiah Spiller at the 110, not a running back that we're high on. We kind of tried to explain that in the video we did. We broke him down on our page. You can see that. It's interesting to me now because we are seeing more and more people have a similar opinion. I'm not saying that we started it by any means because everyone has the same tape, but a lot of people are split on him. A lot of people are split. Some people have him as their first running back. Some people have him as their 5th. Kenny Pickett at the 111 makes sense. It's a super flex league. At this point, you should definitely be taking some quarterbacks off the board. And then Kyron Williams at the 112. Is he Austin Eckler or is he J.D. McKissick? Hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah, we have no idea. Once again, all these guys, wherever they land, is going to be absolutely crazy. If Kyron Williams goes to a place where he can contribute immediately, I would definitely see him in the top 7, 8, picks depending on where he lands. But right now, it's all based off talent.
Yeah, so definitely. Okay, so I'm on the board here. The running backs I would consider at this point are off the board. I really was hoping that maybe a Dotson would fall to me. So for me, it's really between Wandale and a quarterback. And this is probably where team need is going to be the biggest thing for me here. So whatever team I had, my construction, because I see these guys relatively even, a lot of people are going to disagree because it's Superflex, but I really do like Wandale. So because I see these guys relatively even, I would go with what's, positionally who is more valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and take Sam Howell here at the 2-3.
Okay, so 2 quarterbacks off the board. And yeah, I'm surprised they didn't take Wandale. Once Wandale gets picked, we'll talk about him because, this is a guy that he keeps falling in my mind, in my heart, and I know he's talented, but there's a lot of question marks for me moving forward. I kind of want to talk about that when that happens.
Yeah. Shane says Trey's a top 10 Dynasty quarterback in all rankings he sees. Paul is asking, he said, I was offered Tua, the 2022 107 and the 109 for Lance. I would take the Tua side of that. The pick, the compensation you get in the draft is well worth it. Benjamin Paul says, which side would you take, the 106 or the 204 in Juju? That's difficult, man.
I think I'll go 106. I think I'll go 106. I'll take a chance with one of these younger guys. Who you can get at 204 right now. That could have been Wandale. That could have been Sky Moore. That could have been Christian Watson right here. You could have got Drake London, a Jameson. You could have got Malik.
I guess when you consider it that way, the 106 probably is worth more.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have the 106 over the 204 and Juju, in my opinion. That could change. Definitely could change.
This is interesting here. Watson and Mechie go off the board in the middle of the second. You guys know Watson for me is someone I'm excited about, but I'm not going to draft him personally before the 3rd round. I know he has all the intangibles, the speed, he has the size, but he does a lot of things. There's a lot of things that he needs to work on to become a successful wide receiver in the NFL, and some of those things can be taught. Mechie at the 2-6, that's pretty high for Mechie. I mean, typically we're seeing Mechie in the beginning of the 3rd. So that's interesting. His draft capital is going to be massive because I don't think the community really knows where to sit on Mechie at this point.
On Mechie, yeah. For Christian Watson, for me, I like him. I think he's going to continue to rise, in my opinion. I think we can see him as early as a 2.5 or maybe even earlier, depending on where he goes and how his combine. For me, Mechie, a good complimentary wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. Could definitely see what happens moving forward.
We're too excited about a guy who had 43 receptions. I know he's got the speed, the size.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of things that he needs to work on.
And I think that's what's exciting because we've seen him work on that, and that's improved, in my opinion. But
I don't know that we can say that the Senior Bowl is showing that he's improved. Hard to say.
I mean, he's going
that
against
based
the best
off
of the best. Surely.
Not really. I mean, look.
I mean, you're
taking one game based off of the entire body of work, but I get it. Desmond Ridder at the 2.7, and then Brian Robinson at the 2.8. Some of these picks I think are too high, to be honest, man. I think the last from 2.5 onwards feels a little bit too high for me, but again, we could be completely wrong after the combine.
Yeah, I think the one that makes most sense to me is Watson. I think Ridder is a little bit high for us as well. There's still a quarterback out there I would have rather have taken over him. Brian Robinson is also really high for me as well. I see 1, 2, 3 running backs I would have taken. I'm gonna go. Should I go running back here?
Yeah.
I mean, there's 3 running backs. Maybe I should. Yeah. I kind of want to go the other way, but yeah, I'll go running back. I'm gonna take my guy here.
Just before you do that, let's just address the chat. Christopher G is saying you can tell people in this draft know what they're doing when there are 5 wide receivers in the top 8 picks. This is 100% a receiver draft. I agree, man. I do think that this is a really heavy wide receiver room or class this year. He says, see too many mocks with the top 3 backs going top 5. It just doesn't make sense. Steven says Wan'Dale is going to be too small. Yeah, I agree.
I think so as well.
We'll have to wait and see what the measurements could be. But you're going to make your pick. Go ahead.
Yeah, the community is right. And this is the guy that I was going up against. It's either Trey McBride or Jerome Ford. And I want to take Jerome Ford here. But, I'm going to go with the community. This is Trey McBride, territory. If I can solidify that top tight end, why not take him here at the 2-9, the end of the second? That's crazy. And there's so many running backs, in my opinion, that's on the board that maybe one of them falls to me. So I'm going to go with the community here. That was the guy. I like it.
Okay, I like it. Trey McBride, yeah, a guy that I would have taken McBride over anyone from the 2.5 onwards, personally.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It's crazy. And Jerome Ford goes right after, my RB2, a guy that I think could be an all-around back. I don't think there's a wrong answer there. I feel like if McBride's there, that's really hard. You're tight end 1 or a guy. Yeah. I guess it's all going to depend on where they land, but
for sure.
It's
Shane
crazy.
says 10-team league, not tight end premium. I have an abundance of good tight ends. What should I do with them? Which would you trade? Kittle, Fant, Gesicki, Goddard. Man, that's a good question. I would honestly see what you can get for all of them. Find out who wants these tight ends, and whatever the best value you can get based off of that player is the one that I would move. And I would also kind of try and aim towards teams who don't have solidified tight ends and see what they would be interested in. Hey, man, you don't have a tight end. Are you interested in any of these? What would be your best offer for one of them?
Yeah, I agree. I think you can definitely try that, see what happens.
So Rachaad White at the 211. Jerome Ford, Rachaad White, all guys that I personally like over Brian Robinson. Doesn't mean they're going to get drafted over him, but personal preference. And then Carson Strong at the 212, and we're back at the first. Anything that you dislike about those last couple picks?
I think my favorite here obviously is Jerome Ford, and my second is Carson Strong. You can get him at the 212 there. A guy that can maybe sit behind somebody. I think he is this guy can do it all besides run. His football IQ is incredible. His arm's incredible. And I think he could be a great quarterback. I say he came into the league at the wrong, what's it called? 10 years ago, he would have been a decade, the wrong decade.
Okay.
That was the word I was looking for.
Come on, guys. Wan'Dale Robinson just fell at the 3-2.
Bro,
that is ridiculous.
I'm with the community. I don't see him like that anymore.
That is way too low.
After reevaluating him, I was kind of on your side. I was like, Wan'Dale's nice, but like he will probably be too small, and I think he will get lost in the league, and he won't be anything potentially, in my opinion. Maybe he'll be a good.
I disagree strongly, but that's okay.
A good punt returner. Maybe he'll be a good wide receiver 3, a guy that comes in, has a good game or two. But I don't know.
Well, we're gonna agree to disagree here. Wan'Dale at the 3-2 is stupid value. I mean, I was considering Wan'Dale at the 2-3. I don't know how we justify the other talents off the board, but agree to disagree here. Agree to disagree.
I think there's definitely people that shouldn't have gone over Wan'Dale, no doubt about it. But I don't believe in Wan'Dale as much as you do anymore.
That's fine. My thoughts on Wan'Dale haven't changed. I already scouted him knowing that he wasn't 5'11", realizing that he's probably 5'7". All right, Sky Moore here is my clear next option. I love Sky Moore. I think that GMs are going to fall in love with him. I think he's not just a small, shifty guy. He does everything really, really, really well. And I'm excited to see what the league thinks of him, especially after the combine. He's probably going to be, I think Wan'Dale and Sky should both be much higher than this. That's just my opinion, though. Then James Cook off the board at the 3-4, someone that you really like.
Yeah, I like James Cook, a guy that can, in my opinion, can be an all-around back, but he probably most likely won't be with all the talks and everything now that's going on with him. He could be a third down guy. But, Dalvin's little brother. We'll see what he can do in the league. I think he can surprise some people.
Yeah. Casey says the NFL has shifted over the past 10 years and has become more pass friendly. Not that wide receivers are protected. Small wide receivers are finding more success. 100% true. The small shifty guys are finding more success because of the way that the league now operates. There's so much opportunities to show athleticism in space, and I just think getting a guy like Wandale, he's not going to be Tyreek Hill, but I just think he can have a really good impact on a team. So I do love Wandale. I love Sky Moore, both for similar reasons. But Justin Ross off the board at 3.5. I do love Justin Ross's game. His film was obviously more impressive before the injury, and I do worry about the spinal injury. I'm not sure how that's going to translate long term.
Spinal.
You know,
I broke my back.
Broke
Spinal.
my back. That is,
you know.
I mean, to be fair, like the story of him coming back from that is quite incredible. Most doctors said that he shouldn't play, so he's definitely got some perseverance to him.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Kid's got some hot. Christopher G is a smaller Lynn Bowden. Interesting. Agree to disagree. I welcome the opinions. Jalen Weidermeyer at the 3.6. Would I have taken Weidermeyer there? There's a couple other players I would have taken over him, but if you believe in Weidermeyer, then grab your guy here. At this point in the third round, whoever you believe, this is where you take your guys, you know?
Yeah, no doubt about it. See where Tebow goes now here. Jalen Tolbert goes at the 3.7. Another decent guy. Damian Pierce goes. Man, I was hoping maybe he can fall to me, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get a running back here, but I might wait until the fourth now. I'm going to go with my guy, Khalil Shakir.
Shakira.
Keep it simple. Take Shakira. Explosive guy as well.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that.
He's my guy.
He's my guy.
Shakira. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm definitely look, it's not that I'm not on Wandale's side, you know. It's like,
hey man, choose a side. Zamir White off the board.
Hey man, choose a side.
Five-star recruit. Who knows? Maybe he recovers his form in the NFL. I mean, at this point, late third round, I think it's worth a shot. But he's just not looked like himself since both of those ACL injuries. Benjamin says Wandale's a third rounder at best until he wears platform shoes and is taller than 5'7". Oh man, we're gonna agree to disagree here, community. I'm not gonna see it on the same page with Wandale. Look, Wandale at the 3.2. I mean, it's just way too low, man. I personally would have taken Wandale over Watson, Mechie, Robinson, maybe some of these guys as well. So I think it's just a difference of opinion at this point.
Let me ask you a question. How tall are you?
How tall am I? Yeah. I am 5'8", I think 5'7", 5'8".
Okay.
I'm also extremely slow, have no athleticism.
I'm just wondering how tall. I was just wondering how tall you were.
Okay. What's the point?
So, if Wandale comes shorter than you think he can be, even with all his talent, he can be as successful as you? I don't know who's a shorter person in the NFL to you. I know like Darren Sproles, but it's the running back. Potentially, I think he was like 5'8". You know, who else who was shorter that has been extremely, extremely successful?
Think about Darren Sproles. I think about Maurice Jones-Drew. Dexter McCluster reminds me of someone who was shorter, who was successful in the NFL. He wasn't very relevant in fantasy, unfortunately. Wes Welker. So, I mean, size isn't everything here.
I mean, once again, I think it all depends on the landing spot. But yeah, I think, you know, Wes Welker was one of the greatest quarterbacks for a little bit. You know, Maurice Jones. Okay,
here's what I'm going to say.
Which is a freak.
If Wandale ends up in a high explosive offense, don't you guys come crawling back because now he's in a good offense. Alec Pierce at the end of the third. I like Alec Pierce. Extremely strong hands. Isaiah Likely and then Jeremy Rutkert off the board back to back, along with Jerion Ely.
That's funny.
Yep. Rice Cake Randy said Edelman Welker.
Yeah. Okay, I can get it.
Trippy says fourth round is just a round where everyone gets their interesting prospects. Yeah, honestly, I view the fourth round as just like, who's your guy? Who's the guy that you believe in?
Agreed.
Yeah. Rice Cake Randy says Wandale's a good dart throw, but if Kingsbury can't unlock Rondale, who can unlock Wandale? It's a good question, but we have to keep in mind, like, you have to have opportunities to succeed, right? Rondale, I think a lot of people are massively undervaluing this offseason. How is he going to get more time than A.J. Brown, Christian Kirk, and the wide receiver core there? I think we're going to see a much better year from Rondale Moore. All right, so I'm on the clock. You guys know who I'm probably going to take here. A guy that I really, really like is Tyler Beatty out of Missouri. Not a lot of people are talking about him, so I will be the one to talk about him. Another short player, but strong in his lower body as well. Like, he has the ability to carry some piles. He's not the biggest player at all, but in the SEC, he balled out. That's versus some of the best defenses in the country. And I believe there were 5 games this year over 200 rushing yards. Last player to do that was Jonathan Taylor. Just going to say, okay? I'm not saying he's Jonathan Taylor by any means, but I'm just saying that is quite impressive. So I'm going to take Beatty here at the 4-3. Sean says, keep the Kevin Harris talk down. I'm not a Kevin Harris guy, but I get it. I get it.
Kevin Harris is funny, though.
Shane says, I got...
Walmart.
Sorry?
Walmart something. Nah, somebody compared him the other day to like something. He was like the Walmart brand of some player. I forgot who it was, but it was funny.
think he said Walmart Nick Chubb was who.
Yeah. That's funny.
Shane says, I got Ramondre Stevenson and Elijah Mitchell with the 408 and 409 last year, so I'm pretty much a 4th-round expert. Come on, Shane.
Honestly.
Timothy Lagon says Steve Smith was 5'9". Yeah. Look, like, there will be players who are undersized who don't succeed. There will be players who are undersized who do succeed. So I do think Wan'Dale has what it takes to be successful in the NFL. Don says Wan'Dale has elite short area quickness and his change of direction skills are incredible. However, I do worry that he will be pigeonholed into being a slot guy because of his size. I wouldn't be upset if he was a slot guy, to be honest. I think he'd get a lot of work out of the slot, but I get where you're coming from. Trippy said, I was thinking about drafting Max Borghi right there, but couldn't pass him over Jerry on Ely. Shane says Boston Scott is 5'6", and he's a tank. So I think he's maybe referring to Beatty a little bit. So then we see Zaquandre White off the board at the 4-5. You know I love some Zaquandre White. I do love some Zaquandre White. Great size. Like, the lateral quickness is just different. Has a great ability to make that one cut. Is this the quarterback out of Oregon? I don't know much about him. I don't know much about Anthony. Cade Otton. I don't know. I don't think that there's... I don't know, man. Cade Otton, I don't think he really put up impressive numbers in college. It's hard to see him putting up impressive numbers in the NFL, but I could be wrong. What do you think of Cade Otton? A lot of people are pretty high on him.
Cade Otton, look, he I don't know. I'm not as high on him either. You know, I like the Cole Turners. I like the Jeremy Ruckers over him personally. I haven't heard much on him. I haven't heard experts or maybe the community. I don't know what you heard, but you know, the most I've been hearing out of a tight end is Isaiah Likely, that he is the best tight end too of this class over Jalen Watermeyer.
Really, that's interesting. I think you can make a case for it for sure.
So
I would go Watermeyer, but
I've heard a lot of Likely and how he is like he could be this guy, and everyone is just raving about him. At least the experts. That's just what I've heard.
A lot of people are high on Max Borghi. I see the chat talking him up. I don't know, guys. I can't get behind it. I don't.
Should I take Borghi here, boys?
I don't see him being more than a role player in the NFL.
I'll be honest. I haven't really looked much into Max Borghi, so over
there out of Washington State. Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't see anything more than a role player, but I could be wrong. He could get an opportunity. Like, if he gets an opportunity to shine, then you never know what will happen. But also, I don't know. I mean, at this point in the draft, in the 4th round, thank you. I was going to say Calvin Austin should be off the board.
Yeah, how do Calvin Austin, the speedster, Olympic speed apparently. So we'll see. He could have the fastest 40 time here in the 2022 NFL Combine.
Shane says, I went to WSU and saw him single-handedly win games. He definitely seems like a solid 3rd down back. I like it. A lot of people are high on him. I think, he can definitely be a good role player.
Max Borghi. I might look him up right now just for the lows.
He can definitely be a pretty good role player. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he play a little bit of wide receiver for
I'm just gonna look at his
Um,
highlights.
For
Washington,
Washington
State.
State, did he play wide receiver? Am I wrong on that?
He looks pretty big, like tall size. At least just on the highlights that I'm watching really fast. Out of curiosity, just so people are
Shane says, I
interested.
think it would be funny if Panthers took him when CMC gets hurt and replace him with his twin. That's high praise, Shane. Careful. Honestly, if CMC gets hurt, then that's why I'm so interested in Chuba, because there's been so many talks about CMC's, is he going to be moved? I think Chuba's a pretty decent running back to fill in for him. All right, so
interesting.
one last pick left from Fantasy Dominator. At this point, you're grabbing your guys. There are some players that I think maybe should have gone off the board, but we'll talk about those in a second. Did Dameon Pierce go off the board? Yeah, he did it 3.
Yeah, he went 3-8. Yeah. Good old Max Borghi. That's funny. I'm watching it right now of his highlights playing USC currently.
Back in 82 is talking about Hassan Haskins. Almost took him in the 4th. He's interesting, isn't he?
I think he's still available.
He is still available. Yeah. He's an interesting prospect as well.
Look, this Max Borghi guy isn't the fastest guy, but I mean, when he gets in space, he looks okay. It's not amazing though. I'm not jumping out of my seat to be like, oh, Max Borghi.
Yeah, we should properly scout him a little bit more.
Yeah, interesting guy.
Max Borghi.
Good old Borgs.
Just a player that people want to get behind, Rice Cake Randy says 3rd and 4th is for drafting specific skills anyway. No one is a complete prospect at that point. That's very true. All right. Is that Rodrigo Blankenship? Oh. Raheem Blackshear, running back out of Virginia Tech. Right. I don't know why I thought that for a sec. Matias says Olave or Pickens overall. At this point, I do have Olave higher in my rankings.
Yeah, same as well.
But Pickens isn't far behind. Olave is my 3. Pickens is my 5. Pickens, you could argue for Pickens after Treylon if you wanted to. I wouldn't be upset with anyone arguing that. All right, some players that maybe should have been drafted that didn't.
I think in the wide receiver room, I think it's okay. Romeo Dubs could have been something
for sure. Did Kyle Phillips go? Did anyone take Kyle Phillips?
No one took Kyle Phillips.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Running backs, I think Zonovan Knight's definitely worth a look. Zonovan Knight's interesting. Keontae Ingram out of USC.
Hassan Haskins.
I guess no one took Kevin Harris, did they? Did anyone ever end up taking Kevin Harris?
Walmart, Nick Chubb.
No one took Kevin. But I think you guys did pretty good. And again, there's always going to be difference of opinions, by the way. So if you guys disagree with the Wandale opinions, that's okay. That's going to happen.
It's okay.
Steven said Olave is going to run fast tomorrow. I'm really excited to see.
We're gonna be watching it together, brother. So if you're gonna come through, maybe we should plug that right now. We need to figure that out.
So tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be live watching the Combine. Now, we have absolutely no idea if our channel will be blocked for doing this, but we will be showing you the Combine.
Honestly, for the boys.
Like, we will be watching it, and it will be on the screen for you.
And girls, if there's girls.
I'm pretty confident this is illegal. So expect the stream to be taken down. But,
oh my gosh,
YOLO, we're going to do it for the boys.
It's not that serious.
I'm not saying we're going to jail. I'm just saying they're definitely going to take it down. Like, the NFL is not going to let us just show the...
but we do have a backup. If we... Hypothetically, if YouTube is taken down through that whole, it's like if we're live and it gets taken down on YouTube, we're live on Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch won't get taken down.
Twitch won't get taken down.
Here's what I would say. Join our Discord. Hang out with us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to watch the Combine together. We're going to talk a bunch of nonsense. There's going to be a bunch of dead space, but you can at least hang out with us if you want. And if it does get taken down, if you're in our Discord, we will send links to the Twitch stream because Twitch won't get taken down. They don't care. Steven says, I feel like there's so many flyer running backs and wide receivers this year. Yeah, especially the running back position. There's so many guys who don't really separate themselves but could be successful.
Yeah, I agree.
Christopher G says Olave is going to be the wide receiver 1 from this class. Dude has elite tracking abilities, special awareness, and ball skills. Throw the speed on top. He's that dude. I agree. That's why I have my wide receiver 3. I love Olave. Don't get me started. I won't stop talking.
Yeah.
Rice Cake Randy says, I'm hoping to catch Pickens in the early second. I'm getting ballsy taking Kyron at the 107 unless Spiller falls. The thing is,
right. I think
I have the
Spiller could
202. Spiller could fall. I have the 202 in one of my home leagues, and I'm like I've just sold myself that I'm not going to get Pickens. Like, there's no way Pickens is going to fall to me. So that's okay. It is.
Who would you take there then?
Probably Jahan Dotson. I think Jahan Dotson. Maybe David Bell if David Bell is there.
Love that.
It depends on who's on the board. I might take a shot at one of the quarterbacks.
I have the 2-7 there, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I've got quite a few picks in our follower leagues.
I don't have my first in our home league.
Yeah.
And my second, and I have the 2-7. So I don't want to say who I want to take because I feel like that can be skewed once, But you're before me, so it doesn't matter.
Drew says Olave is so meh. I Make Music says Jameson Williams is the best wide receiver in the class. He's ahead of schedule. Hey, man, you're not going to find any disagreement with me. I have Jameson Williams as my wide receiver 1 in this class. So I am.
There is reports.
Bro, you moved Jameson to your 8th wide receiver?
Did I? Yes, I did.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
The reason why I did that was because of Drake London. The only reason let me just preface this for the community. I think Jameson Williams is the most talented wide receiver in this class. I agree with that with Zach. I am just scared of that injury.
Hold on, no. You can't say that. No, come on.
Yes, it is, and everyone says it's short-sighted. 100%.
Bro,
I agree with
he can't be your wide receiver 8 if you think he's the most talented wide receiver in the class. Just because he's going to miss the first 2 years or the first 2 months.
Well, I think he can miss the whole year, and I don't know if I want to be waiting.
We're talking Dynasty. He can't be the wide receiver 8, bro. That is criminal.
He went at the 107. Well, 1, 2. 3,
that doesn't matter.
4,
I'm not
5,
saying
6.
where he went.
Right.
He can't be your wide receiver 8.
Yeah, look, for me, I think that just makes sense for me.
You gotta rethink that one if he truly think he's the most talented wide receiver in the class.
That's how I view it. I feel comfortable at the him having him there. If there's other reports him coming out saying like he's ahead of schedule, which there have been, that he feels like he's 80% already. He's 80% where he needs to be. He's not testing, but if something happens and like we see him in camp, that can change. Obviously, I probably would have lost my value on him because our rookie draft would have won already. But I mean, that's just how I feel right now.
Yeah, I am fine with you if you can justify him being the wide receiver 8. That's fine, but you can't say he's the most talented wide receiver in the class and then have him as a wide receiver 8. That just doesn't correlate to me.
Look, and everyone's saying it's scared of ACL. Yeah, I am scared of the ACL, and I'm scared of the ACL and everything that he could potentially miss. If he tore his ACL in January, that can be he can miss up until November, December, and maybe teams will be like, what, there's no point of continue rehabbing. We'll bring you back if the team is not ready. It just all depends on when he can return, but we don't know that, and I'd rather just play it safe, in my opinion. So that's just my thought process.
No, I get it.
I'm just saying,
if you truly thought he was the most talented wide receiver in the class, I don't think he would be your wide receiver 8. I think maybe you misspoke.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you truly believe he's the most talented wide receiver in the class, then there's no way he could be that low.
Right. Maybe I did miss because I do believe Garrett Wilson is the most talented, and I will take him every day at the 101. In my opinion, maybe Jameson is very talented, and I think he is up there to be in contention to be the 101, the top 3, the top 4, whatever the case may be. But the ACL, in my opinion, really just throws me back. Yeah, but I'm okay with that.
And again, I'll just keep saying because I just want people to know where I stand. I think if you're not drafting Jameson because of the ACL, then it's just such a short-sighted thought process, considering that we're playing Dynasty. I just it's so easy to recover from an ACL now. Like, name a wide receiver that hasn't been able to recover from an ACL. It's hard to find one in the last 5 years who's. I could be wrong, but I mean.
No, and I get that. And I get that 100%.
Jameson for me is definitely the most talented wide receiver in the class. I think the combination of the route running ability, the ability to create space, the true like 4.3 type speed. This isn't something that you find very often. So, anyway, we're always going to disagree on certain things. We're always going to have different opinions, and that's okay.
I'm happy to be.
You guys are
actually proven wrong for sure.
You guys are actually getting an insight on Badaki and I's conversation. Sometimes, like we don't agree always, and now you're getting an insight on what that might look like sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be proven wrong. Once again, I like Jameson. I like what he can do. And I am honest. Yeah, this is Dynasty. I'm just still scared of the ACL. You know, I'm just scared of what that would look like. And now ACLs is like freaking breaking a finger. Be back in 3-4 weeks. Yeah. You know, but still, I think it can change a lot for somebody that hasn't gotten to the NFL, that may lose confidence, maybe because the coaching staff doesn't, hasn't really seen him in person. So there's a lot of other factors that come to mind when I think of those things. But I think Jameson is very talented as well. No doubt about it.
Again, I just feel like it's short-sighted, and I just want to. Christopher said Jameson isn't going to be an 80 catch plus guy in the league. He could not be that. Like anyone that we're talking about right now could potentially not succeed. But I think if you don't view him as someone who has that upside, then in my opinion, you're not looking at him as a route runner. I think a lot of people only view him as. Hey, shout out to Cole.
Appreciate you, Cole.
Thanks for the sub, Cole. The last thing I'll say is, if you don't view him as a ceiling as his ceiling as an 80 plus catch type of player, then I think you're not looking at what he can do as a route runner and how he can create separation, because in my opinion, he was elite in those areas this year. But again, we're always going to have different opinions, different discussions. We welcome the opinions, the discussions here. Benjamin Paul says, can't be afraid of the injury just because he's going to miss a year. So are you trading Chase if he gets hurt? Obviously Chase is a different convo, but I get where you're coming from. Joseph says, have you guys a sub because you're clearly grinding on here every night? Gabe. Appreciate that, Drew.
Appreciate you.
Grinding on here every night. Different opinions. I don't agree with Badaki sometimes. He doesn't agree with me. You guys don't agree with us. Hey, we're all here just giving opinions and having a good time. So
all love.
We'll plug a couple things. If you want to know what's going on with us, we're going to plug a couple things at the end of this stream. The first one is Patreon. If you do want to play in the Dynasty League with us or with our followers, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. You
can get Jameson on the low, man, because I'm not going to take him.
You can come join us there. Shout out to everyone who has joined us over on Patreon in the last couple weeks. Derek, Otto, Otter, Josh Silver, Kyle, back in 82, Tyson. The list goes on and on. Craig. Shout out to you guys for either joining our leagues or signing up for Close Friends Plus. And the other thing is we have I was about to say shit ton. Oh, well, I said it. Shit ton. We have a shit ton of content coming out. Okay. So Badaki, what is on the way? Do you have the list open of what's coming up? Can you get people excited?
Get people excited of something that's happening. Now, this week we have a bunch of content coming out. We're actually really excited for everything that's coming out. We have Buy or Sell Calvin Ridley. We have a new series, Javonte Williams or Najee Harris. Who is your RB1? Which is really exciting.
Which we don't agree on that as well. That was fun to make.
Dynasty sell high running backs as well. We're going to give you some guys that we're saying maybe, hey, you should get rid of them. And time to panic Aaron Rodgers. And we're also grading your Dynasty trades for the 2022 season. So continue to send that through. Make sure if you have any other content suggestions, there is a suggestion tab in our Discord where you can join. Throw any ideas that you have in there, juxtapose through some in, back in 82, through some in. There's so many people that have, have thought about good ideas, and if we made it,
that's
so
true.
That's actually really fun, really exciting. And we still have a bunch of other content. Obviously, DK Metcalf went out already today. Miles Sanders of the day, Buy Low running backs is coming on the way as well. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, it is really exciting. The other thing that I would say is, if you heard us talk about our main channel and maybe you didn't leave the stream because you wanted to hang out still, I will paste that link again here now if you want to go sub to our main channel where we cover redraft, DFS, prop bets. We're going to be covering all that stuff. It'll get more hectic over there at the beginning of the season. Trippy's over here on Twitch. I love that. I love the support.
I love Trippy.
Tim says that he loves the debates. Shane says we're all just not agreeing. We're all here just not agreeing. And that's just true. That's why I love it.
100%. 100%.
Michael's talking about Jackson Smith and Jigba. He says he's better than all these wide receivers. Man, he is fun to watch, isn't he? Yeah.
Better than all these wide receivers. Yeah, I'm down.
I actually think that Jackson Smith and Jigba could be better than all these wide receivers. I definitely think he has that upside.
I think there's going to be like conversations.
He was really exciting to watch this year.
Yeah, there's going to be like he probably at the moment it feels like he's the one. Let me not say that because there's still quarterbacks and stuff going on. But he will be. I think he will be the first wide receiver.
Top 5.
He'll be the first wide receiver off the board.
I don't know about that either. I don't know about that. I mean, guys, so much can happen in a year, but there are literally like 10 wide receivers that I could see being the number 1 wide receiver next year because there's just so many talented guys in 2023. And if that tells you anything, sell your 2022 picks for 2023.
Yeah.
And Bijan and the running backs in next year's class.
You're right. There's actually so many, but like we won't know until we get closer and closer to the season. Towards the end of the next season, so it's going to be maybe I think one of those video ideas that we have is looking into the 2023 class.
Yeah. Would you guys want us to make a video like that? Would you want us to tell you about the 23 class and players that you should be watching this year in college? Because there's probably 20 to 24 players that I'm already really watching closely.
Maybe we need to break it down like by position. So top 5 quarterbacks, top 5 wide receivers, top 5 running backs. But even then, I feel like we're making the list short. So maybe we need to do even a deeper dive. So I don't know.
Sounds like a Frank Ocean song. Hey guys,
Trippy and Steve said they would love it. So that's cool.
That's awesome. And by the way, you guys are helping us create amazing content because you are liking the content, you're subscribing, you're sharing it, you're giving ideas in the Discord with the suggest content channel. So yeah, we could do a plant our flags for the 23 class.
Timothy said Debbie content would be that's crazy. Debbie, sheesh, that's like a whole nother world.
Dude, Debbie is different. That's
just next level, bro.
When you think about how many players when you think about how many players are in the NFL that you have to cover, and you think about all the players in like there are
so much, man. It's like
of schools.
It's overwhelming. It's like I don't know if I even want to like think about doing that, but it sounds exciting.
Here's what I'll say: if you do Devi, you have to be 100% committed to doing Devi. You know what I mean? Like your focus can't be in other areas. But hey, guys, 48 likes. We didn't get to 75, but huge thank you from us for your support. If you haven't dropped a like, that would mean a lot to us. If you can do that as we end the stream here, maybe we can get to 50 together. Trippy, Chris Autumn, Bell, I believe Minnesota. I've heard of him. Nathan thinks it would be cool to do a top 10 at each position for 23. Shane says, what's the earliest 22 pick that you'd be willing to trade for a 23 pick?
What's the earliest 22 pick?
I mean, it depends on the team that's, like where that pick is projected, but I'd be willing to do most picks for the 23 class. I would be willing to trade out of the 101 if I knew that I had a top 3 pick for next year.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. With all the suggestion, guys, please put it in the suggested content ideas tab. That would just really help us to kind of make sure we are following up with everything, because we don't really go back and look at the chats here. But
we always look at the suggest content.
We always look at the suggest content on Discord. So please put those ideas in. That would be great if you could. But yeah, thank you so much for coming through. Tomorrow is NFL Combine.
It's Combine Day.
At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If anything changes, we will notify you guys in the Discord, whether that's a time change, because I think we need to really... I look at the website and it says 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
No.
Thursday, it says tight ends, quarterbacks, wide receivers.
Coverage begins 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we're not going to be live 3 hours before the Combine begins.
And it says running starts at 4 p.m. and the last player off the field around 11 p.m. That's what it says. So I don't know. All time listed in Eastern Standard Time, but I could be wrong. I just want to keep that. Yeah, it's on the NFL website.
I know. I see it says coverage begins at 4, but then it like the main time it says is 7 p.m.
Right.
Unless
okay.
maybe do they do the drills first and then the workout?
I have no
I
idea.
don't know, man. This is
I have
kind of
no
confusing.
idea.
They should have a much clearer schedule.
But I guess we'll just have to monitor that. Maybe we'll get in. We'll check it up early, and maybe we'll just go live whenever we think we should. So just stay tuned for that. We'll keep you guys updated
Yeah.
on the live stream for tomorrow, guys.
Oh, guys, for the few people who are still here, shout out to you. Again, treat yourself to something nice today. Okay. So if you are able to eat Chick-fil-A, don't take it for granted. I'm over here in Sydney, Australia, not being able to eat Chick-fil-A. So don't take it for granted. Go eat a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Treat yourself. Get a sweet tea, lemonade.
Yeah, a sweet tea lemonade, and
Whatever
if
you
you can't go to Chick-fil-A, get a McDonald's sweet tea because I think that's just as good.
Bro, I
Maybe it's
watched this video yesterday on McDonald's fries, and like in America, they have so many random things in their ingredients to the McDonald's fries, whereas like overseas, the import like restrictions for food is much more strict. So like it's much cleaner overseas, but things like even like silly putty. There is silly putty in McDonald's American fries. Like
That's not good.
it's weird, but
That's not good.
anyway,
All right.
we're talking about absolute nonsense
love.
at this point. Huge love,
Either
guys.
way.
Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you soon.